All right, welcome everyone to our Discover Memory Care workshop, January. My name is Olivia. I'm the host of Discover Memory Care series, and I'm with Deer Ridge Memory Care Community. I'm the Director of Community Relations. For those of you who don't know me or our team very well, it's very exciting. We're part of a very new memory care community coming to Puyallup on South Hill. We're about 5 months out from opening, and our team is growing. We have our business office manager, Tess, who is recently come on board with our team, and our executive director, William Martin. So wanted to introduce you all to our team and give you a few updates. This is a current picture of Deer Ridge Memory Care. These pictures were shot just this last month in December. We're coming right along. It's very exciting, and we are now accepting what are called dusty shoe tours. Anyone can stop by any day of the week. Starting at 3 p.m., we will be offering dusty shoe tours, so you can actually see for yourself the progress we are making. We'd love to have you come by. So before we get started, I just wanted to give you a few updates about Deer Ridge, a little bit about who we are. It's very important for us to be providing memory care education and letting folks know about the resources they have in the Puyallup, Pierce County area in regards to memory care or senior resources in general. So as you can see, this is kind of a vision of what Deer Ridge Memory Care will look like. And we are now taking reservations. And that phone number is my direct cell number. You're welcome to call at any time if you're interested in dusty shoe tours or reservations, you're looking for a family member. And with that, I'm going to introduce today's speaker. This is Debbie Ruvo, and she will be speaking to us today on the topic of downsizing, right-sizing, and transitioning. This is huge. In any transitional phase that one might find themselves in, especially for our elders that we love so much. We want to take care of them. We want to make their transitional process as smooth as possible. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Debbie, and she'll take it from here. Just a quick note, if you have any questions at all, please share your questions in the chat box at the bottom of the Zoom call. And I will be sure to follow up with each of you with Debbie's information so that you can contact her directly. So with that, I'll hand it over to you, Debbie.
Okay. So here we are. Hello, everyone, and thank you, Olivia, for the opportunity. I do appreciate it very much. And I am a licensed realtor since 1994. I'm also a certified seniors real estate specialist, and I'm with 55 Plus Real Estate Services right here in Puyallup, not too far from Deer Ridge. And today we're going to talk about downsizing, which is a big topic for a lot of people, and right sizing as well as transitioning. And we know it's not easy. A lot of people don't know where to start. And with 55 Plus Real Estate Services, we will be able to provide one-stop shop for you, and we'll get in a little bit more detail as we go and towards the end. And you'll have the opportunity to also write down information, so have your pen and paper handy, as well as ask questions like Olivia said at the chat box down below your screen. You can type in your questions, and then we'll be able to get back with you on those answers for you. So we want you to feel comfortable to ask those questions as well. And I have my little notepad here so I don't forget what I want you to learn today, because there'll be a lot of information. So be sure to have your pen and paper ready. And also you'll have the opportunity to get my email and my phone number if you would like to chat with me personally later on. Okay, so downsizing, right sizing, and transitioning. It's a big topic. And so I want to explain to you a little bit about 55 plus real estate services. And like I said, I've been licensed since 1994, but not always an advocate working with seniors. So a little bit about me. I am born and raised here in Washington State. My children and grandchildren all went to school here in the area. And I've been a full-time realtor since 1994. And I got my designation, which is an SRES, Seniors Real Estate Specialist, about 7 years ago. But I didn't actively use that until we actually had a family emergency. And sometimes you don't put things in place or do what you need to do until you experience that. And speaking of that, my aunt and uncle, they were married 69 years, lived in their home for 45. They didn't have any children, so I was the heir to their estate as well as their personal representative. And got that phone call in the middle of the night, which nobody looks forward to. It was my uncle letting me know my aunt at the age of 87 had passed away. And they didn't live very far from us. So my husband and I went over and wanted to help my uncle, of course. He had Parkinson's. He's in a walker. So they lived in a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 2-car garage home, just a 1 level. But we knew that my uncle could not stay there because he's never cooked for himself. He needed help with bathing. He needed help with cooking. He could feed himself still, and his mind was just as sharp as ever. But he couldn't live alone. He needed help with a lot of daily activities. So we just, when you get those calls in the middle of the night, you don't think clearly. And my experience that I'm sharing with you today may help a lot of you, because a lot of you who are listening today are here for a loved one. And maybe you yourself are thinking of downsizing, or maybe you know that you're eventually going to need assisted living. And of course, you're here maybe for a loved one to go into memory care at Deer Ridge. So my experience today, I'm going to share with you what we did, and also talk a little bit more about downsizing, of course, and the steps you need to take, and also preparing your home for sale. What does that look like? But my experience with my aunt and uncle, we just like, okay, what do we do next? We know we have to get my uncle a place to live. So my daughter and I got on the phone and started calling all around the places that were affordable, that my uncle could afford, and also close to us where we can visit, and was reasonable, was clean, and able to place him as soon as possible. Well, that's not an easy way to do it. Until I realized, using my certification, being a seniors real estate specialist, I need to put those things into play. And I knew there was placement agencies that could do the legwork for us. And sure enough, we called the placement agency, and within 3 days, my uncle was placed in a wonderful home. And he was pretty excited because it was all women. So he was pretty excited about that. And it was a nice, safe place. It was clean. He got his 3 meals a day, and we were close by where we can visit with him. So after my uncle was out of the home, then we thought, okay, now our work really begins. This is where the accumulation of 69 years worth of stuff in the home had to be dealt with before we could sell the home. So I got on the phone, talked to my estate sale people. They came over right away. They did a 3-day estate sale for us. And let me do my PowerPoint here for you so you have some visuals. And no, this is not my uncle's home. He had a very humble abode, but just a small little 3-bedroom rambler. But I always put that picture up because it's kind of a chuckle to think, oh my gosh, that's Debbie's uncle's place, and it's not. So anyway, after we did the estate sale, they even were able to haul away all the things that did not sell, which was a godsend to us, because we just didn't have the time or the resources to take care of all of that, of 69 years worth of stuff. They had a lot of valuables, they had a lot of collectibles. And like yourself or your loved ones, you probably do have collectibles too. And we're going to talk about all of that and what to do with them. So after the estate sale, then we knew we had to bring in the house cleaner and the window washer and the roof cleaner. So we have all those resources to help you along the way as well. But that's what we did. And we realized there is a lot of work involved in doing this for someone that you really care about. And we were able to get the home on the market. It sold right away the first week. And we made sure that he got top dollar because that's the money he was going to live on. And that was very important, top dollar, just like you would want top dollar for your home. And we would make sure that that would happen for you as well. So as we prepared the home for sale, and we, like I said, we did get top dollar for it, which was very important and made my uncle very happy. So let's talk a little bit about downsizing and right-sizing. So I'm going to go over here to the next slide, and decluttering. That's really important. And why should you declutter? For your safety, for one thing. If you have too many things, you can trip and fall. You also have things in rooms that you don't use anymore, so you're paying for the electricity bill, and you also have so much stuff in there, and you close the door behind you as you put more things in there as you live. And you don't know what to do with all that stuff, and that's where we're going to come in and help you with a customized plan to provide you with everything that you might need. And not everybody's situation is the same, so we're going to customize that to fit your needs. Not everybody wants an estate sale. Some people want to do their own garage sale. Even when it's cold outside, I have clients that want to do their own garage sale because they have family and friends that will help them. But most people want that estate sale, and then they want things hauled away. And we're going to talk about donation places as well. Because of COVID-19, there's a lot of things that you can do and can't do. And we'll talk a little bit about that as well. So I always tell people, if you're thinking about moving yourself, do it now before the move chooses you. You don't want to be like my aunt and uncle and make the move when you have to move, because then it becomes where you have to find a place quickly, and you want to be able to take your time and do that with your loved one. If you know you're having issues now with a loved one, it's a good time to do tours at your memory care or assisted living, and then put your reservation in and get started that way. So I always say, choose the move before the move chooses you. So right sizing and downsizing, what's the difference? So downsizing, you're going to move to someplace smaller. You're not going to have any more yard work, any more maintenance, and maybe move to where they're going to give you 3 meals a day. Wouldn't that be wonderful? So that would be downsizing. So right sizing might mean you move straight across the board, where you're going to move into maybe the same size home that you have now, just maybe to a warmer climate maybe, or you're going to move to a 55 plus community single family home with a 2-car garage. It's just that they're going to take care of all the yard work for you. So you're fully active still, and you don't want to move where you need assisted living, or you don't want apartment style living. That might be what you're going to do, is right sizing, instead of so much moving into assisted living or memory care. And of course, most of you on this may be on here for your loved one. Okay, so how to downsize and why? Are you tired of the stairs? No more yard work, and maybe you want to travel more. Maybe you want to be with your grandchildren more, or have family, maybe move closer to them. So there's lots of reasons why people downsize. So how are we going to downsize? So let's talk a little bit about that. Because you have a big home, probably with lots of stuff, maybe you've been in your home 30, 40, 50 years, like my aunt and uncle, they were in their home 45 years. Start with one room at a time. And it's going to be really important that you know what you're going to take with you. So for your loved ones, for instance, if they're going to move into memory care, they're not going to need a whole lot of things, maybe 2 or 3 outfits and a couple pairs of shoes and their personal items, maybe some pictures for their wall for memory sake. But if it's just going to be for you, you're going to want to know what you're going to keep first. That's going to be really important. So let's say you start in the master bedroom in the closet. And if you're like me, you have 3 different sizes. The used to be size that you wish you were, and maybe now the medium size that you lost some weight and now you gained it back, and now your current size. So you know you might not need all those clothes anymore. And you're going to have a bag or a box that you're going to put things in that you're going to keep. So maybe your holiday attire is going to go in a box now because the holidays are over. You're going to mark the box that these are clothes for the master bedroom. So for your movers or your family that's going to help move, they will know where that's going to go. Now, of course, you won't have that much if you're just going to have someone moving into memory care, but you still should mark the boxes or the bag that you're going to do. So by starting one room at a time, you could start in the kitchen, get rid of things that you don't use as much, maybe a lot of pots and pans you don't use a lot of. Start packing those up and mark them clearly for your movers. And I'll have to tell you, 2 years ago, we moved after 30 years being in our home. And my husband was up in the attic, pulling down things in the attic that we haven't looked at for 30 years. And he brought down our daughter's and my son's kindergarten papers. And I was all excited. So keep in mind, our kids are in their 40s right now. And I was excited. I called my daughter and I said, honey, guess what we found? We found your kindergarten papers. Do you want them? And there was silence. Then my daughter says, Mom, what do I want those things for? And I chuckled. And she's so right. Our kids really don't want our stuff. Everybody in our situation are trying to do what we're trying to do. And so the younger generation really doesn't want our stuff. They might take a few little things for memories, but they don't want our furniture usually or our collectibles and so forth. So just pick out one thing at a time and start with one room at a time. And then after you've decided what you're going to take with you, it'll be much easier when you hire the estate sale people to say everything in this room is going to be in the sale. Everything in the garage is going to be donated. So you kind of have an idea of where and what's going to be kept, what's going to be sold, and what's going to be donated. So that'd be really important. But just start one room at a time because it gets overwhelming otherwise if you try to do everything at once. So pack what you're going to take with you, label the boxes and what room they'll go into. And you can store your boxes until you're ready to move in one room, or I always suggest the garage. But if you don't have a garage, pick a bedroom where you can store those boxes that you're going to take with you, or maybe another room or garage where you're going to have items that you're going to donate. So let's talk a little bit about what you're going, and the resources, of course, are available to help with your transitioning. And we at 55 Plus Real Estate Services have the professionals and a network of people to help you simplify your move. And that's what it's all about. So your estate sale people, your movers, your packers, all of those people are available to you and helping you when you get ready to sell your home. We have attorneys for your estate sale. If you haven't named your power of attorney yet, we have that. We have movers and packers, contractors for home repair, and so much more. So like I said earlier, we're more of a one-stop shop. So as you're preparing your home for sale, we have these resources to make it a smooth move for you. So I know it's important for everybody to understand how serious this can be. And I know with assisted living, memory care, and 55 plus communities, there's waiting lists for a lot of them. One nice thing about Deer Ridge, it's brand new. They're taking reservations, so there's availability. If you are on this looking for memory care for your loved one, I would suggest that you get on that right away and do your reservation and take your dusty shoe tour. That would be really important because things fill up so quickly. So senior housing, what should I do now versus later? Where will you go? And there is a lot of options if you are looking for yourself. Independent care, there are communities that have independent care, assisted living, and memory care. There's also a purchase of a single family home. Maybe you want to buy again in a 55 plus community, gated community locally here, or you plan on moving out of state to somewhere warmer. We have resources out of state as well for your assistance in purchasing in a 55 plus community. So now let's talk about preparing your home for sale. And that's a big issue as well, because as you are packing up and labeling those boxes of things that you're going to take with you, because now you know you're going to sell your loved one's home or your own home. Now let's look at it in the eyes of a buyer. Would you buy your home again as it is? Step outside, take a look. Does the roof need to be cleaned? The gutters need to be cleaned out? How about the landscaping? Right now it's winter, but some people who are getting ready to sell in January or February bring in some beauty bark, spruce up the landscaping a little bit. It's hard to paint this time of year, but I do know people have done that before as well. And then also, let's go inside. Let's take a look. Does the carpet need to be shampooed? Does it need a little bit of paint on the inside as well? And do we need to remove some of that furniture that's in there? Let's talk a little bit about donations as well, because you're going to want to be able to donate some things. Now, Goodwill, Salvation Army are getting to be very picky on what they take because of COVID. And that's important to know, because that's probably the first places that you think of. St. Vincent de Paul is not too bad, as well the Northwest Furniture Bank. I think they may charge a fee to come out to you. The items of furniture that are big and bulky need to be cleaned, no pet hair. They're going to look at that before they take it. Northwest Furniture Bank helps people that are in need, maybe from a fire, domestic dispute, so they do need furniture. Also, Habitat for Humanity also takes, and I believe they will pick up if you're not able to transport. But your estate sale people that we have references for will also help you with that as well. And excuse the term junk haulers. We had to use the junk haulers when we moved. We actually had our son take my uncle some of the things to the dump for us, and we did too. We took 3 or 4 truckloads because you can't sell everything. You're going to have to either donate, sell in the estate sale, or it will have to be hauled away. So kind of keep that in mind. And as a seller right now, top dollar, people are seeing multiple offers on their home, and beyond the list price, they're overbidding $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 off the asking price right now because inventory is low. So that's what we're seeing in the housing market right now. So you won't have any problem selling. So as you are putting your home on the market, one of the ways that we help you keep your home safe during the pandemic is that we make sure that the realtors and their clients have masks. They're required. That's required of the Northwest Multiple Service for showings. The limit of 5 persons in a home at a time, including the realtor, and 6 feet social distancing is required. Disinfectant wipe down of all surfaces. So We ask that they take the disinfectant wipe with them as they're opening cupboards, doors, or opening the doors to the bathroom and such, that it's wiped down after they touch it, so to keep you safe as well. We also do a virtual tour option that's included in the home. And we also have temperature checks for our staff and our clients upon entering our office, if you were to come into our office for an appointment. And we have shield guards in our conference room in place for in-person appointments as well. So the advantages of working with a seniors real estate specialist, which is an SRES, is that we customize the plan to fit your needs, and we have compassion because we've been doing this for a while, and that's our specialization. And we have experience, 26 years here at 55 Plus Real Estate Services, and we have a network of professional and resources to help you with your downsizing and your transitioning. So also, by making an appointment, a scheduled appointment, and a free consult, we are giving away the AARP Downsizing the Family Home Workbook, which is wonderful. It's free to you. When we come out and meet with you, we'll give you this book. We find it very useful. It's a workbook, so you can write inside of the book, and it's very helpful. And of course, you can always call me or email me with questions. We have my name, a phone number, the office number. The C is for cell phone, and the O is for the office phone number. And then my email, druvo@comcast.net. And now I believe I will turn it over to Olivia, back to Olivia. And I thank you for listening today, and be sure to put your questions in the chat box. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Debbie. I appreciate it. I'm gonna take your presentation off there and put on to mine. There we are. Yeah, Debbie, thank you so much for taking the time. I will, as a reminder, be emailing everyone Debbie's information. I encourage you to reach out to Debbie if you have questions about transitioning. As you can see, she's a wealth of knowledge and experience and a great resource in the area. So that's important to us, to uplift those resources that folks in our community may not know about. Feel free to reach out to myself if you have any questions as well. Our next Discover Memory Care workshop will be February 18th at our regular time at 6 p.m. We'll also be doing something a little bit different going forward in the future. We will be having a second opportunity on those workshop days to see the workshops. You can see it at 11 a.m. on our Deer Ridge Memory Care Facebook as well. So thank you so much for joining us. Debbie, thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.
All right, thank you.